In the episode Cookie Chomper III, Alvin, Simon, and Theodore adopt a stray cat and fall in love with it. Then one night, the cat climbs out of the window and gets hit by a car. In other words, this cartoon created a baby character whose only purpose was to be born alone in a cold, cruel world, then know happiness for about a day before its short life is suddenly snuffed out by an unknowable behemoth made out of metal, gas, and rubber. In conclusion, the Chipmunk house is now definitely haunted by a vengeful, totally justified feline spirit. But this is not the saddest part of the episode. Cartoons dealing with death all pretty much sing the same song. Yes, death is sad, but it's also natural, it's a part of life, yada yada. You know what Alvin in the Chipmunks says: death doesn't have a reason. It's random, it can happen to us at any time, and when it does, it can and will destroy us. Theodore, the youngest chipmunk, takes the kitten's death the hardest, refusing to believe that it died and looking for it around the neighborhood. Alvin, on the other hand, gets rid of every plant in the house because they will die one day, and after what happened to the cat, screw having to deal with death again. This is the kind of trauma that in science fiction movies results in someone swearing at God and inventing an unholy method of reanimating corpses. One of the harshest, almost nihilistic lessons of this episode is that it's okay for the Chipmunk boys to replace the cat with a puppy. Because the cat will always live in their memory, or whatever, it's fine to, well, forget about it from time to time. It's actually one of the only ways we have of dealing with the loss of a loved one, just not thinking about them occasionally. Younger viewers might cry at this episode because a small animal died, but adults will fucking weep at the idea of children having to learn such a harsh lesson at such a young age. Nickelodeon's Hey Arnold is a pretty normal cartoon about a normal football-headed boy getting into normal boyhood adventures like being stuck downtown in a banana costume. Typical Brooklyn stuff. But if the show's creator had his way, it would have also featured Arnold dealing with a creepy pedophile. Hey, speaking of horrible ideas, the Vietnam War. Did you know that one of the saddest depictions of how the war fucked over regular people comes from Hey Arnold during the Arnold's Christmas special? Because of course this would take place during delightful Santa time. We find out that Mr. Hyen, one of Arnold's neighbors, used to live in Vietnam with his daughter. They didn't have much, but they had each other, and that was enough. Then the war came, and Hyen had to flee with his daughter. He tried to hitch a ride on an American helicopter, but there was no more room on it. Then, in a moment of desperation, driven by pure parental instinct, he passed his daughter Mai to the pilot so that he would take her to the US. That was 20 years ago, and Hyen hasn't seen Mai since. The entire flashback is short, but it perfectly puts you in the frame of mind of a person who has to make one of the hardest decisions of their life right on the spot. There is this really great scene wherein Hyen, having made up his mind to save his child, hugs the girl closely before stoically putting her life in a stranger's hands. Then, as she flies away, he doesn't weep and wail. He just stares blankly at her, broken inside by the knowledge that he did the right thing, for which he will never, ever forgive himself. The two of course reunite in the end, because come on, it's a Christmas special. But Hyen and Mai still lost more than 2 decades after finding themselves in an impossible situation which, frankly, none of us would have handled any differently. It's sad when something tragic happens because you screwed up. But what's even worse is when you do everything right, given the situation, and still end up in a world of depressing suck. A run-of-the-mill Christmas miracle won't just magically fix that. Only extra strong eggnog can. Cesare Jan Strusiewicz is a cracked columnist, interviewer, and editor. Contact him at c.j.strusiewicz@gmail.com or follow him on Twitter. If you love this article and want more content like this, support our site with a visit to our contribution page. Please and thank you. For more, check out 6 Disney scenes that are way more tragic than you realized and 6 sad facts about beloved characters proven by fans. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and find out why we're lost in a sea of confusion in 6 happy movie endings that are secretly tragic, and watch other videos you won't see on the site. Also follow our new Picked Effects Facebook page. Because why not?